in Naperville, Illinois at Finish Line Performance. We brought our 90 Mustang Convertible to put it on the dyno and just get a baseline just to see how much horsepower these things actually make when you drive them off the street. Our goals are to do a tune-up to it, put plugs, wires, some ignition parts, change the fluids, and see how it runs.
The guys from VATV brought in their 90 convertible Mustang today.
Our car's got 59,000 miles on it. It's absolutely bone stock, all original. These cars originally came from the factory with 225 horsepower. It's a good starting point for a lot of projects that we have planned. At Finish Line Performance, they do a lot of stuff like the LS1, the LT1s, the mod motor stuff. They do quite a bit of stuff with fuel injection, transmission work. I mean, it's a one-stop shop for everything short of bodywork and paint.
Well, we specialize mostly in forced induction cars, whether it be superchargers or turbos.
Once we were at the shop, we backed the car up onto the dyno and then strapped it down with 4 straps, put wheel chocks in the front of it to make sure that the car doesn't move. Slowly accelerate the car so it goes through the 3 gears. Once it's at a certain point, let's say in our case we started the test around 20-some hundred RPM, you mat the throttle, rev the motor up to about 5,000 RPM, take your foot off the gas, hit the dyno brake, and read your readings. That's a consistent poor rating right there. Pretty disappointed.
When they got here, they kind of asked me what I thought it would make, and I thought it would make 180 horsepower, and it made 177, so it's pretty close.
You suck. You're off by 3.
Our plans are to swap out all the tune-up components.
Basically, they're going to change the fluids, they're going to change the ignition, put MSD wires and the ignition box on it.
And then we're going to take out all the organic fluids in the car, the engine, the transmission, and the differential fluid, and we're going to replace it with Royal Purple's synthetic fluids. Back in the old days, they used to tell you put a set of headers on, it was worth 50 horsepower. You put a carburetor on, it was worth 50 horsepower. Well, heck, by the time you're done, you probably made 3,000 horsepower, but you didn't.
The dyno doesn't lie.
Part of the changes that we're going to make today, we're not necessarily looking for performance. I mean, in our case, we may see fuel economy from it. I would be willing to bet that you're going to see longevity out of it just by using the synthetics. But, and they may not show up on the dyno, but we want to see the differences in what they do. We chose Royal Purple Racing 21 engine oil because it works very well in a variety of applications. Racing 21 helps to provide horsepower while preventing internal wear. The viscosity is typical of a 5W30 oil. We're real happy to find out that there was no shavings in the transmission pan, and the filter looks beautiful as I look up in there. So really, we've got ourselves a pretty good car to start with. Royal Purple Max ATF is a synthetic high-performance, long-life, multi-purpose automatic transmission fluid. Max ATF is fully compatible and can be mixed with other automatic transmission fluids. We replaced the differential fluid with Royal Purple Max Gear Oil. All viscosities of Max Gear are formulated with high-point friction modifiers necessary for use in clutch or cone-type differentials. No additional additives are necessary. After fluid changes and parts upgrades, we ran the Mustang on the dyno a couple more times. We opened the door and let the room cool to the same 60-degree air temperature as in our initial run. Hey, power. 188, oh excellent, okay. The car picked up 3.7 horsepower and 4.3 foot-pounds of torque just by changing fluids and tuning up the ignition. That totally made a difference. It's very important for us to get a baseline from the aspect that we don't know what we may do to this car. I mean, for all you know, that there could be a supercharger on it one day, or a nitrous, or a turbocharger, or all 3, because I've got nothing better to do.